Hey guys, me again. I'm going to try and do a quick video here. I'm stuck in traffic, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to finish this or not, but I'm going to do my best. This is going to continue our Dark Eldar series. I'm only going to cover um, a single unit here. We're going to start off the Elite section of the book. The Elite section of the book. And we're going to start off with my favorite unit of all time. And this is probably one of the most best looking models, in my opinion, the games have made over the years. And they're just near and dear to my heart. I love the new way they run and play. And that is Mandrakes. So Mandrakes are an elite choice from the Dark Eldar Codex. And they've gotten much, much better and much, much more useful. They're nowhere near the most optimal unit in the book to take at all, by any means. But I just love these models. They're fantastic and fun to paint. They're really fluffy in what they do, and they're kind of interesting. They're very different from any other unit that exists in Warhammer, in my opinion, for a couple different reasons. But they are fantastic models. They're very fun to play with, and they cause problems for your enemies, believe it or not. In lots of ways, they will cause issues. So, what a Mandrake is. So, we'll go over it quickly. They're basically, I believe, I can't remember, I haven't seen their stat line in a while, but they are weapon skill and ballistic skill 4. They are strength 4, toughness 3, and they are initiative 6 with 2 attacks and no save whatsoever. So, they're a very interesting unit. So, based on their stat line, you go, okay, they want to be in combat, but with no save. What are we going to do here? How are we going to deal with this? Now, what makes up for their lack of durability in their save is they make up for in their defense versus range. So what they have innately is stealth and shrouded, as well as infiltrate. So this basically means they're going to have a 2-up cover save almost all the time. I mean, you're going to be putting them in basically any kind of cover here will give them a 2-up cover save. So whether you're in like a bush or in a ruin or whatever it is, you know, even a crater, they're going to have a 2-up save, right? Even on turn 1 in the open, they're still going to have a 4-up cover save, you know, and if it's night fighting, well, night fighting is not going to help you here, but, you know, basically, yeah, they're going to have a 4-up cover save in the open and a 2-up cover save anywhere on the table that's behind the cover. So, well, you're gonna say, well, why would you need a cover save from shooting if you're all about close combat? Why would you bother, you know, feeling these guys? They're not going to be just wanting to get shot at all game. And you're right, they do have a weapon. They have a ranged weapon. It is, I believe, 18 inches. I'm almost positive it's 18 inches, and it is a strength 4, AP 4, assault 2 weapon. It's their Bale Flamer. So it changed from being an actual flamer template to being a decent ranged weapon that is AP 4, strength 4. Now, that is a very, very useful, in my opinion, in the current meta, because there are so many Tau Fire Warrior gun lines nowadays. There are so many different models like Necrons that have 4-up armor saves, that are warriors are taking on the masses now. You know, going through their armor, even if they still get, you know, their get back up save or whatever, you're ignoring one of the saves completely, which makes it twice as effective against them as it will for other units, right? And the great thing is these guys are very cheap, like just over 10 points a model. So we're talking about a very, very cheap unit. You can take them in a unit as small as 3 and as large as 12, I believe, or 10. I can't remember. It's either 10 or 12. But that is a really, really nice thing. The fact that they have stealth and shrouded, they also do have, remember, power from pain. So they will be getting a feel no pain save eventually, and eventually something like Furious Charge. So they are eventually going to be strength 5 with 3 attacks each on the charge, which is pretty substantial. And the fact that they don't have any save, you know, a 5-up feel no pain is still something. And, you know, it's going to basically come into play every once in a while where you're going to have to charge these guys in. So, you know, they're leadership 9 as well, so you're not likely to run away from shooting if they do lose a few from shots. But basically what you want to do with these guys is you want to basically just infiltrate them within 18 inches or within moving distance of, a unit to fire at, like infantry. So say you're playing against Tau, for example, or something like that. I like to break my units into small units, like small units of 5, and basically put them kind of in 2 spots. So if I'm playing against something like Tau, if they want to marker light up my Mandrakes and then ignore their cover, yeah, they're going to be completely dead. But if they're in 2 small units of 5, well, in order for them to marker light both of them, they're going to have to dedicate probably all of their marker lights to them before they're going to get a chance to ignore both of their units' cover save. And if anything's that do survive, if you're going second, you're going to basically wipe out a whole pile of fire warriors. Like, 10 of them, 10 shots at strength 4, AP4, they're only going to get a cover save at best. And you're taking out, half the unit in some cases, because you're hitting on 3, wounding on 3s, you're causing a lot of wounds, they're giving them no save, and they're going to have to start taking morale checks. And as soon as Tau have to start taking morale checks, they start becoming very less effective. They start running off the table. They start losing, entire units to like 3 or 4 casualties. It happens a lot. So, in my opinion, very good against the Tau, very effective against the Tau, as long as you take them in the right sort of way and you have the right sort of plan against them. And against armies that aren't Tau or Necrons, what I use them for, because I'll take them in my competitive list because I don't care, I love using them. I'll make them something that like your opponent was going to have to deal with. So if I'm playing against, like, I don't know, something like Space Marines, right? All right, you have Space Marines. Where are your heavy flamers? All right, heavy flamers in there, heavy flamer in there. Okay, I'm going to stay away from that, away from all the flamers that ignore cover. Put them somewhere that's in range of, like, all of your weapons, and basically force you to shoot at them, right? And what this does is because they're so durable with their 2-up cover save, you're not likely to lose a lot of them unless they ignore cover. So they're going to have to dedicate a lot of shooting to taking care of just even 5 Mandrakes. Takes quite a lot of firepower. Like, if you do the math, if he fires rapid fire bolters into them, okay, he fires 20 bolter shots, so he hits with 3/4 of them, or 2/3 of them, so he's hitting with, it's less 6, so 14 hits. He's wounding on 3, so he's hitting with more than half, so he's wounding, maybe 10 times. So you lose 2 Mandrakes. Yeah, I'm okay with that. At the most, you lose 2. Sometimes you lose none. And it's like, all right, so you killed 1 Mandrake. Okay, there goes a whole unit of tactical marines worth, I don't know, probably 200 and some odd points. And they killed an 11-point model or a 12-point model, whatever they are. I think they're either 11 or 13 points. I can't remember, but yeah. You didn't get anywhere near your point value returned, and we don't care, because all this firepower that's going into your Mandrakes is being soaked up by people who are afraid of them for some reason, and they're not shooting at your things that you don't want them to shoot at, like your Raiders and your Venoms. And if your Raiders and Venoms are not jinking, that means they're firing all their weapons at full ballistic skill. And it means that you're going to cause a lot more damage back with them. So even if all your Mandrakes die and they dedicated, like half their army to killing all 10 of them, I am 100% okay with this, because at the end of the day, that's only like 130 points that you lost. And he dedicated, 1,200 points to killing it, or 1,000 points to killing it all. And that is more than worth it, in my opinion. And any that do survive are still going to be a thorn in their side, because once their numbers get lowered and lowered, they're going to start taking some serious amounts of, they're going to have to dedicate a serious amount of resources to getting rid of those. And what I like to do after they survive, if there is a couple of them, I'll just move them on to some of the objectives and just sit there and be like, oh, you want this objective? Guess you got to kill, 5 Mandrakes. Sorry, you're going to be doing that for a while, especially if they don't have anything that Norse cover. And that is the biggest thing there. It is very, very hard for them to get rid of them. In many cases, a lot of armies lack ignore cover fire, and if they do, well, first of all, this is the great thing about it, right? So because they rely solely on cover, they have to make a decision now. It makes your opponent think, okay, do I want to win the game by getting rid of those Mandrakes, or do I want to kill that thing that's going to kill all my models? Because it's like say you have like a Ravager, like 3 Ravagers in the back, like crazy amount of Ravagers, and you got like 3 units of 5 Mandrakes, and they're all on objectives. You infiltrated all of them on all the objectives, and you're playing a tactical objective mission, right? all of a sudden it's like, wait a minute, I need to get on that objective, and he has Mandrakes on it. So I have to kill them, otherwise he gets victory points because it's the one where you steal victory points, let's say. And he's like, I know he's going to get 2 victory points if he leaves those Mandrakes there. So do I use my ignore cover fire on the Mandrakes that's meant to kill vehicles, or do I use it on the Ravagers in the back that are vehicles? I don't know. Either way, as the Dark Eldar player, you're not in bad shape here, because it's like, okay, he kills my Mandrakes, I got my Ravagers, pew, pew, pew. I'm going to take out all your armor and ignore cover and fire, and all of a sudden, you have no way of getting through my cover. Now I'm going to start jinking, and you can't kill anything. You put you in a good position. Now, if he doesn't kill you, if he kills your Ravagers instead of your Mandrakes, now all of a sudden you're scoring victory points to win the game, right? And now he has to play the catch-up game where, okay, now I have to deal with them and somehow, somehow get all those victory points back, and that's really what you're looking to do with the Mandrakes. It's basically to force the envelope. It's to go, hey, by the way, I rely on cover a lot, right? These guys here, they just die if you hit them with an ignore cover weapon, and that is sometimes very tempting for an opponent to go, yeah, I'm gonna fire my my Wave Serpent shields at them because it's just gonna annihilate the whole unit. I'm like, yeah, it will. They're gonna just die, and for the most part, most of the time, unless he rolls bad on his number of shots or something like that, and then you have your Ravagers in the back. It's like, oh wait, yeah, you have Ravagers in the back, and I can't fire that shield more than once. What do I do now? The Eldar are kind of in a situation where I only have that as my real ignore cover weapon. Now, what do I shoot at? Well, I don't know, right? It makes it very difficult. They're going to have to use, now they do have things like D-size and stuff like that, which are definitely going to be problems. But, with all your poison weapons, the D-size are not too bad. You just basically stay away from them, shoot your Venoms at them, shoot your Warriors at them, force them to take buttloads of saves. You're going to take out a bunch of them a turn. They only have a 3-up armor save, so when you dish out 15 wounds to them, they're losing three guys, right? So I mean, it's really straightforward to get rid of them. They're not really that much of a threat as ignoring cover weapons, because one, you're not going to ever charge them, and two, you have the perfect tool to get rid of them. So and if you have, for example, like we said before, the Trueborn with blasters, they're fantastic at getting rid of them because they're at 18-inch range. You're going to have 4 shots at AP, strength 8, AP 2. You're just going to kill them outright on a 2. They're just dead. And then if anything that does survive, you got all your splinter weapons. You just kind of clean them up. And it's perfect, right? It's the perfect kind of way of getting rid of them. So I never had too hard of times with Wraithguard with Dark Eldar, because you are an army that can deal with high toughness stuff no problem. Because of all your poison shooting that you have. Now, back to the Mandrakes, sorry. So yeah, that's typically how I'll use them. I'll sit them on objectives, fire their Bale Flamers at what I can. If there is no objectives and we're playing something like kill points, a lot of times what I'll do with them is I'll outflank them instead. Or sorry, I don't want to flank them. I'll keep them in reserves instead, and bring them in on whatever turn they come in, because they'll have a feel no pain save for sure. And it makes it harder for them to kill them. So even if they're coming on from the table edge, that's your edge, for example, they're still going to have a 4-up cover save in the open, and they'll probably have a 6-up or a 5-up feel no pain, which makes them very difficult to deal with. All you really need to do is just get behind some sort of cover, and it makes it very hard for your opponent to claim those victory points. And really, that's the only real reason why I take them in small squads, is because I like having multiple targets for the Tau. To force them to fire marker lights at 5 of them is just a great feeling. It's like, all right, you're firing 10 marker lights at my 5 models that cost like 13 points each. They're cheaper than Space Marines. I mean, you don't care. You don't care. I mean, it's basically it's less than a 5-man tactical squad in order to have that unit there. Yeah, it is an elite choice and whatever, but they're disposable. They're cheap enough that they are disposable units, and they are so durable that if they're firing marker lights at them instead of your vehicles, well, you're a happy person, believe me. You don't care, because you're able to jink now, because you have all your cover saves on all your vehicles and all your raiders and all your venoms. So any kind of anti-vehicle stuff that's firing at him, so if he's firing his broadside missiles and stuff like that at you, you're just going to be laughing, because it's like, all right, well, Tower one of the biggest enemies to Dark Eldar in terms of the worst matchups for Dark Eldar because of that, the marker lights. And this just makes it so much easier to deal with them because the Mandrakes are the perfect tool for killing their Fire Warriors. And a lot of times, Tau players don't like losing their Fire Warriors because they're their only real defense to hold the line once you get close to their, you know, their battle suits, like their broadsides and stuff. And if you get rid of all of them, their broadsides are going to be susceptible to being charged, and they don't like that. So, you know, your Incubi can get in there and take out broadsides, no problem, and stuff like that. And they basically just leave your opponent to make difficult decisions, right? Because, you know, the Mandrakes are such good bait. I use them as bait, basically. And it's sad to say that they're bait, but they are, you know, very good bait. They're high quality bait. But yeah, go ahead, guys. Leave the comments in below. Hope this video was useful for you guys on how to use Mandrakes. Let me know how you guys use Mandrakes, if you use them in different ways. That's how I typically use them. Until then, guys, happy wargaming, and I'll talk to you guys later.